Hello everyone and welcome. We are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are here with Valentina and Fuzzy Juan Kerman in the Artemis III, and the mission that they just accomplished at the very conclusion of the last stream was to attach a small set of reaction wheels onto this satellite here, and we are currently in a very high polar orbit of the moon. There's the moon right there. But we're not done with these folks yet. At least I hope not, because there is also a contract to rescue right here William C. Kerman, who is in, as you can see, a low equatorial orbit about the moon. And my hope is to see if I have enough delta V. I have 816 meters per second left to delta V. Is that enough for me to get down, rendezvous here with William, and then still be able to get ourselves home? I mean, I could easily get myself home from the orbit I'm in right now. That's not a problem. But I want to see if I can get myself down and see if I can rescue William as well, rather than having to send out another craft. Now, one thing I do want to mention, actually a couple of things to be honest. One of the things I always like to do at the beginning of these streams is to recognize any new YouTube members or Patreon patrons that have joined in the last week. So welcome aboard. Let me find the right button. There it is. Luke Bligno. Welcome aboard, Luke, and thank you very much for your support. And of course, a very special thank you. I'm having trouble clicking buttons today. There we go. Very special thank you to all of my Patreon patrons and YouTube members. Now, we're going to go and see if I have the DV to do this in just a little bit, but oh yes, I know it's going to be about 250. I would say 280 for the return. That's not going to be a problem. We're going to plot this out in just a little bit, but one of the comments that came on the last stream was this thing. I have yet to unlock solar panels, so this is all still relatively low tech, and I've been nursing the batteries on this thing to make sure that I can get myself home. Well, there are 3 gigantic solar panels on this satellite here. I could just steal one of those with my engineer that I have aboard. So I think I'm going to start by actually doing that. Now, I do want to note I have 816 meters per second of delta V. If this turns into a great big delta V hit, then that might be problematic, but we'll see. Let's see what this can do for us. So we're going to spin around. We're going to aim. I still have the satellite as a target, thankfully. And we'll go a little bit northwards of the target. Actually, no, a little bit southwards of the target now I'm thinking about it. We'll come below it. And I turned the thrust limiter. I don't think I know which way's north, which way's south. This way. I think it's the polar orbit that's messing me up. That way. I want to go that way. Okay. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of velocity. I turned the thrust limiter like way down. They can come up a little bit this way. And we'll go see if we can swipe one of those solar panels. Yep, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're getting our engineer Fuzzy Juan here to swipe one of these solar panels. Push this a little bit away. I want to actually come. Oh, actually, I should have gone to the side. Oh my goodness. Now I'm thinking about it. Because it's going to be easier to approach this from the side than anything else. I'm not doing this in a smart way because the solar panels are so long. It'll be way easier just to park off to the side of this. All right, let's try that again. That's looking better. That's looking better. Yeah. We're doing a little reappropriation of some car parts here. Oh, we are really close. I just noticed how close I was. Okay, we're down to 815 meters per second with that little bit of maneuvering. Okay, let's just zero this out. It's probably so close that I can just reach it over. So let's zero out our velocity. Good, good, good. And I'm going to roll it just a little bit. I'm going to try and put the solar panel like right here. So Fuzzy One, you're getting out. And it's probably easier if I retract this first. There, retract the solar panel. Okay, and I'm hoping I can just reach across. So get into construction mode, and all I got to do is grab it. I love the construction mode in this game. Oh my gosh. That's something special right there. Okay, easy peasy. Okay, let's get back down, get you inside, and let's start plotting out. Come on, get to the hatch. You can do it. Certainly much easier than it was when I was trying to put this reaction wheel on last episode. I think it looks better this way. Don't know why they put an odd number of solar panels on there anyway. Oh, that did take a DV hit. Ooh, it went from 815 down to 768. Okay, so something to be aware of. All right, let's see if I'm going to open up Kerbal Engineer, edit this second HUD. We're going to go into the Rendezvous tab. And there should be a target selector. There it is. And that's good enough. But what this has is it does have a go to target selection, and that removes the target. So ever found it's really hard to oh, I guess I could have just selected this as a target. That would have worked too. Oh well. So the place for us to do our burn, we're coming around this way, is right here at the ascending node. You could do it just as easily at the descending node, but that's where we're going first. And we're obviously going to have a lot of retrograde, probably about half retrograde and half normal. Now, is this going the right way? That's the good question. Yes, it is. That, and then retrograde. A bit of both. And I'm just doing this, I'm plotting this all out just to get a feel for how much is this going to cost me. Whoops. More this way. It's funny, when you do a great big plane change like this, the normal and retrograde components sort of switch roles. Like, notice now when I pull on the retrograde, it's the plane that changes. And when I pull on the normal, it's the altitude that changes. It's funny how that works. They switch roles at one point. All right, let's... So getting a very rough idea of the plane change required here. That's pretty darn close. Okay, so that's going to be a 274 meter per second burn that both gets us down there and gets us not an encounter just yet, but at least touching the orbit. And gets us in the right plane. And then what we're going to have to do is do the rendezvous. And the rendezvous is going to cost us as much as it does just to get ourselves into this orbit. So all I'm going to do here is add a little bit of retrograde. Probably adjust the timing here a bit. Other way. And again, just really roughly, just to get the... I'll be deleting this one in a second, but I just want to get the cost. So the first burn is 274. I'm going to write that down. Let's call it 275. We'll round these up. And then the second burn, we can see here, if I select maneuver number 2, it's 165. Let's call it 165. This gives us nice round numbers. So now I got to add in my head, that is 40... 440. Let's make sure I did that right. So 10, carry the 1, 14, carry the 1 again, 440 meters per second. If I subtract 440 from 768, am I doing that? That leaves me with over 300, does it not? You know, I should have brought a calculator to the party. Yeah, that lets me with 328 meters per second. Easy peasy, we got enough. Easy peasy. All right, good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this second node. And then we'll tweak this first one better. Am I going to watch Flight 6? I don't know. It's been a hectic time here on the Aben household. I don't want to get into specifics, but it's been bizarre. So I honestly don't know if the option will present itself. Right after this stream, I got other things I have to do. Get to the maneuver. That's what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. So I'm looking at this. I think I got to give a little bit. I'm just looking. Yeah, I'm crossing that P there, right about there. That looks about where the inclination. Whenever you see these AN and DNs are kind of opposite either side of the periapsis, that's usually an indication. I think I got this pretty set up as it is. Like that, and oh wow, really tiny adjustments. I think that all looks pretty good. Do I have a custom KSP controller? I do not. I would love a custom KSP controller, but nope. Good old mouse and keyboard for me. Every once in a while you can hear it clickety-clacketing in the background. Just gonna adjust the thrust limiter here, give me like a 38. Actually, it was good the way it was. It was a 25-second burn. That should be good. Okay. So, again, because I'm playing this in hard mode, with no reverts, I can't quick save or anything, which I was really hard not to break that habit of wanting to quick save. And now that I'm away from, I'm going to extend this solar panel. Not going to have to worry about solar generation anymore, that's for sure. It's a tad overkill. All right. Watch this from here. I was reasonably confident, be honest, in this. I had a feeling I had enough DV because plane changes way out here far from the moon are not that expensive to do. So although this looks like a great big giant maneuver, it's only 274 meters per second. It's not that bad. All right, getting ready. Well, I'm gonna end up skipping an orbit. Yeah, I'll work out the encounter, Rob, in just a little in a sec. But yes, we'll end up doing an additional orbit before we get the encounter. All right, here we go. Here's probably where you can see it better. It'll dip into the moon and back out again. So this game was playing with sort of engine failures as an option. This would be a very dangerous time for the engine to fail. Let's do another one. Just adjusted the heading a little bit. Okay, I'm going to stop a smidge early. Where's my AN? There we go. Probably just... yeah. Pretty good. Alright, so there we go. That's number one. Now, I got way too many things here to... that comes off. So, yes. Let's center this on the moon. I think I can give myself a little bit of prograde. Just a little bit. I'm noticing the PE is a little low. Oh, I guess I could have snapped that to prograde, but that's pretty good. Okay, and now what we're going to do is put a maneuver right here. And the idea of this is to create a burn. And you can see the encounter node going round and round and round, and you want to make this as low as you can, but get an encounter down here. And by the way, if they are not moving, just to sort of show you that possibility, because it's surprising how often this comes up. If I'm on the other side of the little orange triangle here, little orange indicator marker, notice that adjusting prograde retrograde doesn't move these things because it's looking at the next orbit after that. So what you need to do is always, I'm going to do this with this, pop ahead a second at a time, get yourself so you're just past that close encounter indicator, and then we'll get those two really close. So I got a 2.9 separation. We'll just 0.8, 0.5. That might be about as close as they're going. Oh yeah, 0.5. That's perfectly fine. Okay. So we'll end up coming down. We'll do this burn. We'll do this, and then when we come back, after one more orbit, we'll end up meeting each other out there. Okay. So let's, solar panels look good. Okay. Yeah, let's get down there. So where is the moon, by the way? Oh, I only got an 8-second burn. So let's, adjust our thrust limiter a little bit. Beautiful. Okay, let's get down there. Okay. Hello, Floppa. Glad you can make it. Alright, so we're just gonna... Oh, I can put my lights on now. Yes. For whatever they're worth. Now that I got these solar panels, I don't have to nurse electricity. May start to burn just a little early and just not go to full throttle. So it's not that big a burn. Let's call it right now. And we should be starting to see our encounter distance change over here pretty soon. I got the rendezvous tab open there. Again, just back onto the maneuver node. I'm seeing it over there. Got 11 kilometer separation. Let's turn down the thrust limiter a lot. And actually lock it to retrograde. Remember, it was about 500 meters. That's good. 510 meters. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Actually put this back up a bit. Okay. Actually, I'm going to put it on this because it always looks a little bit better. So again, for people that aren't... I don't know. I feel like I'm doing this like every third or fourth stream, this type of a maneuver. It comes up so often. But just so people who are new can see what's going on. Because you can see how we're going around. We're going a little bit slower. That's going to allow William to catch up to us. And you can see we're going to be meeting up nicely. Target. Oh, it's doing that thing where when you time warp, this gets messed up, which is always a little annoying. I'm sure people who are on this stream have heard the announcement for Kitten's space program, which most certainly looks like a spiritual successor to Kerbal Space Program. It's not Kitten Space Program, I'm sorry. Kitten Space Agency. Kitten Space Program would be a little bit too close to the mark, I think. That's very exciting. To do something like Kerbal Space Program with updated graphics, but more importantly, just being more robust. That would be just amazing. There are certainly little things that always sort of get on us. Is there science to be collected? I don't think there is, but I'll check for that in just a little bit. Right now, I'm more concerned with just whoa. That's actually increasing my encounter distance. Let's go this way. No, that made things worse. I got some funny things happening with the encounter distance. Now it's saying it's 3 kilometers. When I talked about being more robust. I had it down to 500 meters and I gave it a little tap and now it's saying like it's over 3 kilometers. Where is the actual... Oh, I gotta do a little F4. That thing gets turned off like all the time. If you're ever not seeing this, F4. Okay, let's... I'm not going by this distance. I'm just looking at the nav ball. I'm gonna play with... So I don't necessarily trust that distance. Let's try pushing it this way a bit. Yeah, that's doing it. Okay, let's just put the retrograde right on it. Maybe that's all I need to do. Retrograde right on the target. There we go. Oh, F4 again. There it is. We're still 4 kilometers away. No, it is a... Yeah, they are not using Unity for the engine. It is completely ground up. It's a... You know, I'm really excited, but it's going to be a long time before we see it. If ever. Like, sometimes these projects just don't work out. That's always a possibility, too, so... Got to be prepared for those things, but... Because KSP2 certainly wasn't the game we were all hoping for, that's for sure. All right, William, we're coming for you. And you can see here, plenty of delta V, 354 meters per second. I got a relative velocity about 29 meters per second, so we're still going to be well over 300 meters per second by the time this is all said and done. But no, I've been in orbit about the moon with crew. We actually came into a polar orbit at one point in this game and did all kinds of EVA reports. I think I got every biome. I don't think there's anything to do. Okay, I'm going to deliberately push the retrograde icon a bit to the side. Coming in a little hot, actually, now I'm looking at it. There we go. A little hot by my standards, anyway. And we'll meet ourselves William C. Not quite sure what class we got with this. Now we're close enough. Let's just stop. And we'll swing around like this. That looks like it's gonna... That presents the hatch, I think, nicely. Back getting over to here. And William C. is another engineer. I got a lot of engineers. I've got too many engineers, in my humble opinion. But I can't be picky. Not only this Kerbal is not only for free, we're actually being paid to go rescue him. So I guess I can't complain. All right, Heading back home. Heading back home. So no longer need the target. Kerbin's this way. This is a very standard type of ejection. It's about as standard as they get. Should be about 280. Usually a little less, actually. Put this at about 35 kilometers. Just the timing. Oh, gotta come the other way. Up the scale here a bit. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, happy. 2-for-1 contract. Always gotta like those. Yes, I stole the solar panel from the broken satellite. Though it's not broken anymore. But it had more satellites than what it needed. But yes. So unfortunately, it's not like once this is recovered, I won't have access to this solar panel. That's an unfortunate, you know. I still won't have solar panels after this. And then after this, I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll go back. We'll look at the contracts. I do have some landing on the moon type of contracts, so maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea. Three and 2 and go. Here. One thing I got to put on this vessel is an antenna. I'm just noticing like how poor our communication is. Just haven't been thinking about antennas because I've been no real uncrewed missions. So the antenna, you know, we've just always been bringing back our science. That's good. That'll do it. Okay, and where is the sun? Alright, we're going to be fine as far as solar generation goes. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I guess I will get some money for it if I put the solar panel on the capsule, but I don't know. Not sure if it's worth it. I thought it looked better on the side of the service module there. Yeah, did it with 47 meters per second to spare. Not bad for a mission that I absolutely put zero planning into. This was a vessel that I built for a different mission. I like it when that happens. Alright, let's get ourselves ready here for stage separation. Actually put this on that way. There we go. The thing, I mentioned this I think last stream, the thing I'd love to get into more is space stations. If I see any kind of build a space station contract, I'm going to be scooping that up. But I don't think I'm going to get that until I start unlocking things like the hitchhiker cans. But who knows? I don't know exactly to be sure. Okay, we should have plenty of electricity. We do. Okay, let's stage. And because now I did sneak a pair of reaction wheels into here, I do have some attitude control. So that is great. I see. Wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that little bar on that bottom? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Little hot dog of death there on this lower capsule. Seems to be doing okay. Yeah, it's mentioning there how many biomes. There's so many biomes. There's so much science that I remember early on playing this game and thinking like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, I'm a bit of a completionist when it comes to these kind of games. I want to collect everything, and I quickly learned when it comes to science, no, it's really not worth your time to try and get to every biome and do every experiment. It's better off just, you know, just concentrating on going to and doing new things and collecting the science that way. Let's see. You got a rendezvous maneuver around the moon. We did that. You have entered into a suborbital spacecraft. Oh, yeah, I did. For a little bit while we were doing the plane change, we did go suborbital. And we have performed a crew transfer. Cool, cool. And that is the satellite contract from last week. Big payout for that. I actually have quite a bit of cash now. And rescuing William C. Still got to get him down to the surface, of course. That should be coming up now. I am coming down in the water, so that's good. I always like that with these roundy ones. I'm not going to put a heat no, this thing has a blader built into it, so I'm not going to put a heat shield. I think that would just look funny. It survived. That's all that matters. Yeah. It's not worth your time trying to visit everywhere. Yeah, I don't know why. That is so weird. Like, it hardly used up any ablator. I'm not sure why there was the overheating on that. It might be as well. You know what it is? It's because there's two of them. So you have twice the mass than that this thing normally would have on it. So you're going to get a lot more heating as it goes through the atmosphere than you would if it was just one of these capsules by itself. So I think that's why I saw some heating there. And who knows, maybe there isn't a blader on the top. That'd be interesting. Maybe that's the problem. All right. We're back. Contract complete. William C. is now part of our Kerbonaut core. We have 675,000. I actually probably doing the space plane hangar wouldn't be a bad idea. That's still tier 1, but I do got the important buildings up to tier 2. 600. I don't think 56. I think I need 90 science. I should really think about science. Okay, let's go into mission control. So I do have some active contracts here. These are all involving landing on the moon. But let's see what else we got. Yeah, I'm kind of done with doing rescues. There's more and more of these rescues coming up. I don't want to do temperature surveys. Conduct an atmosphere. No, no. Science data from space around the moon. Yeah. We've been going to the moon a lot. That might as well be a good idea to do that. Observational surveys. Oh, that's, yeah, being above certain. I don't think I'm going to grab that. Nah. Test the rollbacks in flight. No, we're not. You know what? I guess that kind of leaves us with a moon landing, doesn't it? So we do have this bring some moonstone back with you, and they do recommend some highland craters, twin craters, or the East Crater biome. I know which one the twin craters are. So I'll have to sort of look for that. I'm going to write those down because I don't think I can access them once I'm out of here. And they'll put a higher concentration of the moonstone in those biomes. So you are better off going for it. Maybe the twin craters would be a good one. That's a very distinctive. I always forget which one's the East Crater. Alright. I think I'm going to see if I can build myself a moon landing mission. Let's get ourselves to daylight. Yeah, but I want to complete the contracts. I want to get my money still going. I want science. I would love to build, but no, I think I should do it. And this will be a big science haul too. Okay, so one thing was the that's this one. I wanted to put an antenna on this. So let's do that real quick. Again, I'm still working no solar panels. Wow. Where can I stick an antenna? Oh, there's room for an antenna. Always kind of bug me there's no antenna on here. So we're just going to stick an antenna right in there. I don't even think... Nope. Maybe a little higher. Ah, shoot. There. There. Okay, we're just going to save that. And I guess we're going to go new. So... I guess I'm going to use the 2 crude PED, and then I can send a pilot and a scientist, which would really help. Let's put a parachute on this. And think about how we can build our... Do I have any kind of moon, like landing legs? I do. I do have the micro landing struts. So, not necessarily built for a big vessel like this, but... Hey, well, you know, you gotta work with what you got, don't you? Let's put, as far as science goes, a science junior under that. I'm gonna have to build a fairing around this. Yeah, okay. Let's get the fairing. Turn on the truss structure and the interstage nodes. There. Just giving us a little platform to put science-y stuff in there. So inside there, as well as batteries, things like that. It's never in the center, but if you give this a little bit of a touch with that, that centers that perfectly. We got ourselves a barometer. We got ourselves a thermometer. Where does the Kerbal hang on? Right here. I don't think I have any... Okay, I'm just going to do this temporarily for now. I don't think I have any ladder parts. I do not. Alright, we're going to put in... I guess... Gosh. These batteries have to last us for the entire... Let's just temporarily stick them out of the way. These batteries are going to have to last for the whole thing. You can tell these are going to be fun to collect. Alright, that's it for science, is it not? That's all I got. It is. Okay, let's see. So we got that, we got that, we got that. Let's... Oh, I gotta put together a bit of a budget. Boy, I've not thought this through. Not thought this through at all. Let me think. So I know it says 500. Oh, you know what? Let me pull up a Delta V map. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment to get me my Delta V map. But what is it that they say for landing on the moon? It's like 580 or something like that. Here comes the Delta V map. And I am going to pull out my phone and have myself a calculator. I know you can't see this Delta V map, so I apologize, but it says 580 for the moon landing. I'm going to add 50%. Yeah, maybe. Because 580 is really tight. Let's call it 725. And then it's going to be another, that would be to get it into orbit, and then another 280 to get home. I'll explain what I'm getting at with my numbers. So that's about 1,005 meters per second, maybe a little more than that. Okay, so the idea here is I want to build my lander that when it's sitting on the surface of the moon will have about 1,000 meters per second of delta V. And if it does, then it has enough to get itself back into orbit about the moon and enough to get itself home. So the idea here is to build something with about 1,000 meters per second of delta V. I'm going to add on a couple hundred more to that so it can use that to actually put itself down onto the surface during the last part of the ascent. So let's see what this will end up kind of looking like. I'm a little worried because I just don't have good fuel cans. I'll stick a Terrier under that. This thing's going to get tall already. That's good. Oh, this is still in vacuum mode. I'm looking here. 1,097. I'd love to have a little bit more. Here's what I'm thinking. This is going to be an ugly, ugly sucker. Is to do something like this. And then I wish I had smaller cans like those Oscars. You know, I do have. Here, put this aside. I do have this adapter. And then I do have this 1.875 meter fuel tank. What does that look like with a Terrier on the bottom? Okay, that's okay. I think this is more the kind of thing I'm looking at. What do I have for structure bits? Like, what is this? Yeah. Oh, that's big. Shoot. Why does it give you big pieces like that? That's just stupid. I hate the order of the tech tree. It's just dumb. Okay, landing legs. Oh, these are really small landing legs, not really built for this. Wow. Okay, I do have these. There we go. I have no plan. I think that should be very apparent right now. I have no plan on exactly what I'm going for here, other than okay, so do I use the suicide burn calculator from Kerbal Engineer? Not strictly. It can mess up. Okay. Well, I'm getting in the delta V range that I'm happy with. So I think I'm just gonna have to somehow get this thing up and over. It's quite tall, but I honestly... Oh, it does need a reaction wheel. Thank you. Somebody pointed out there are no reaction wheels on this thing. But unfortunately, with the very lame-ass parts that I have, not being, like... Tallness is just going to have to be what it is. I am not happy with this, but I don't, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. This could go really bad. I'm wondering if I should abandon this and just go for something. Like, I'm thinking, what is a good source of science right now? Like, if I could get some more nodes unlocked. I think my best bet for getting science is going to the moon, and I do think that, like, the best bet for that is to get down to the surface. I could do in-flight refueling. That's an option too. But either way, no, but even with this thing, again, if this were sitting on the surface, it can get itself back home. I can't really be, unless it gets into orbit and refuels there. No, but I don't even have docking ports, for goodness sakes. I do not. So, connecting and doing all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking this is like the kind of thing I'm looking at. I'm gonna go sans light, sans everything, because I don't have... Yeah, I'm thinking this might be about it. So there is this guy sitting on the moon. Okay, now I got to get it to the moon. So to get it to the moon, I'm going to budget $725 for the landing. I'm going to budget on $280 for the capture into low lunar orbit and $860 for the transfer out there. And if I add that up to what is already here, that's 1,005 plus 725 plus 280 plus 860. You know, numbers you can't see. 2870. I'd love to go about another 1,000 meters per second above that too, just so I can deal with the upper part of my Kerbal insertion. Oh, what does the TW? Oh, TWR is fine. We don't have to worry about that. So let's see. I'll get myself a decoupler. This is going to be an ugly thing. There's, I think, no way around that. And I still do have these adapters. I'm thinking I still might want to go bigger. So I'd love to have something that's in around the 3,800 meter per second range for my whole transfer vehicle. Right now I'm just guessing. Now the Terrier, not going to provide. Alright, I'm in the ballpark in terms of delta V. This is a pretty low thrust to weight ratio. Yeah, it's probably a little too low. Probably a little too low. So let's see. Maybe shrink this down a little bit. Might need to go a couple more stages. That might be something that's workable. So, like, for instance, if this was sitting in orbit about Kerbal, right, this would be something that could... I'm getting more and more dubious about this whole enterprise, really. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I am playing with no reverts. We'll put our least valuable Kerbals in this thing. Okay, so now I need to get this thing up there. So if I take my budget that I got so far, added about another 3,600, that's going to get me 6,470 if I added that all up right. Yeah. So at about 6,500. Okay, so I'm going to just now go with this. What happens if I put a reliant on the bottom of that? That is not a lot. Oh, and I want to build this fairing too. Come on. There we go. Let's check our staging as we go. This should be staged with that. This should be staged with that. This fairing's gonna get staged probably after this motor is staged. I'll probably do that with an action group. Okay, so I'm looking at this 280. Maybe get away with this being a little bit bigger. We're just going to put a lot of boosters around it. Get into the... No, but I'm already into, like, you're talking about the main Terrier and adding drop tanks onto this. That's maybe not a bad idea. I hear what you're saying. You know what? No. I think you're right. I can lose an engine. Let me try that. Let me try the drop tank idea. That's not a bad one. Oh, but then I already have a pitiful... Ooh, let's see what this does me. Just give it another go. So the suggestion was made to go to a drop tank type of mode here. I guess I'll use these decouplers even though they won't look right. I don't have fuel lines, but I can get away with... I hate when it does that. Why would it want there? That's what I want you to do. Just do what I want. Okay, so let's think about this. This engine needs to be fired around here. This... Just delete this. Fairing. That's just confusing the situation. But I need to get into the thrust priority, or the tank priority. So these need to have a higher tank priority. Fuel flow priority, so that there will be... So I'm going to put those up to 30. So the idea is that these get drained first, and then you drop them, and then you go to the next one. Now what does that... I think I'm completely confused on the... 30. These are 0. So bigger numbers get drained first. Do I have fuel flow through here? This might be getting more confusing than it's worth. I'm just trying to get the fuel flow to work right. So used to doing this with, let's see, put that on vacuum, because this is not right. It's just counting all these tanks in one go. How is that going to work? Go below 0? No, I got it the right way around. These have a priority of 0. These have a priority of 10. Yeah, I know. I was looking at... can I ask... Never mind. I'm not gonna... I was looking for the fuel... I don't think I can do it. I do not see the ability to do enabling fuel crossfeed. I did click on that and I don't see that option. So I don't think it's even looking at those tanks. This may not be an option. There might be a tech node. Yeah, it's not even counting these tanks on the side. There may be a tech node I need to unlock first. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to abandon this. Yeah, I can't pump fuel anyway. I don't think it's gonna let me do this until I have. So back to what I had before. It was a good idea, but I don't think it's gonna work. I think I need to get fuel lines before I can do this. Okay, this staging is all wrong. That goes with that. That goes with that. That goes with that. Okay, so we're back to this silly design. I'm looking for about 6,500 meters per second total delta V. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this. And we're going to put on some radial boosters. But if this doesn't work, I might need to do some serious science grinding. See, I can't even do proper asparagus staging or anything like that. It's going to be problematic. Okay, I do have the thrust there. So close. We're better off with SRBs. Probably not. Coming up with ideas. You know what's a better plan? No, I know what's a better plan. Good golly, I know the better plan. Better plan is to immediately go to this tricoupler thingy. How's that looking? Oh no, this might work. Try another one. Yep, I think I was better off with one less. And then we'll get some boosters to get it off the launch pad. Have to strut the bejeebers out of it, but we do own struts. Okay, then we're gonna go take that, put that away. Back to these. And back to SRBs. Still not enough. Wow. Mo boosters. Mo boosters. It's amazing what you can get away with just a lot of just. All right. This is honestly getting into the ballpark. This is getting into the ballpark. Oh wait, I need all three of these at the same time. That's what I need. And all of these at the same time. And that at the same time. Come on. There we go. Alright. No shortage of thrust. Would I be better off? Actually, I don't think I have enough thrust. If I just do 3 of them at first, is that enough thrust? No, it's not. So I need all 6 of those to go off at the beginning. Alright, let's put some nose cones on those. I'm not even going to go through any efforts to make this pretty. Oh, right now it'll be a wobbly mess, but if we're going to put a lot of struts on it, and hope for the best is really the idea here. This is terrible. I really hate this thing. Okay, turn that authority limiter down. 6492. I'd love to have a little bit more. Ooh. Just a little more. 6597. Plenty of thrust. Alright. Let's get some struts. I do have struts unlocked, so first thing I gotta strut is these tanks down here. Right across from there to there. Next is these radial boosters are going. The SRBs need some major strutting. So we're gonna push these down like so. Same with this one, get them all to kind of match up. And then up. Want the cones, the nozzles to be just below the main ones in the middle there. Get these to line up nice. Sure, and now struts. Struts. Nah, you know, poor Valentina. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna put Valentina in here. Valentina did the last mission, so I don't think Valentina would be the appropriate choice. Oops. Everything can be fixed with just more struts. Oh boy, and there's also like this is gonna be wobbly in here. I can tell, so we're just gonna do some. I'm usually someone who shies away from the auto strutting. But I don't know. I've never quite gotten a straight answer on what's the best auto strutting. I'm gonna go to the grandparent part. I don't know. I use it so rarely, but I can see this one's gonna be this thing's gonna be problematic. There's no doubt about it. Alright, let's see. Hey, Jarda, how are you doing? I am building myself one ugly rocket and hopefully getting this thing to the moon. So this is a Mun dash crewed lander. I'm having trouble even typing. Crewed lander 2 for 2 crewed. And this is the first variant of said awful vehicle. And I don't think I'm even going to give this a name. I'm just going to launch it and hope for the best. Yeah, but do you want them fixed to one? I'm being told the going to the heaviest part fixes them all to one part. But is that really what you want? I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to do what I just did. We'll see how it works. Alright, who is our crew? Who is our poor, sad crew? We're going to get a pilot and a scientist. So our only pilot, so I have Deluxe oh, I don't think he's done a mission. I guess Deluxe Kerman, again named after one of my YouTube members or Patreon patrons, and Bob is the only Kerbal I got who isn't a level 1. He's never even been into orbit yet, for goodness sake. So that's going to be our crew. Do I have, by any chance, I don't have the science equipment stuff. No, I don't. What am I even thinking about? No. Go back to crew. Bob doesn't even have a, my goodness. There we go. Alright. Yeah, let's do this and see what happens. So, oh, I gotta build the fairing across the top. Oh, there's gonna be a, well, whatever. Let's see what happens. And we'll evaluate once, or if this gets to orbit. I'll do another, like, we'll evaluate at each stage whether I need to abort and come home or not. Now, one thing I want to do is you pick an action group that you don't normally use in this, like for instance brakes, and I'm going to attach the deploying of that fairing to the brake action group, and then I'm going to remove this from the staging. So I'm going to stage that by hitting the B button. Yeah, I don't even know if it deserves. I'm not even going through and coloring it. I'm not doing anything. All right. Let's see what we can do. The joy of having limited parts. I could make my life a lot easier by using the Mark I cockpit. That would act, and then just sending one person there. But I want to try and send two. Okay, let's launch. Let's launch and see what happens. Yeah, much smarter would be just put the Mark I on there, single Kerbal. Don't worry about the scientist, but... Alright, so right off the bat, it's not shaking itself to pieces, so that's always a good sign. Do I have a material study on the launch pad? Oh, yeah, half a science. I bet you I can get one higher. So let's forget that. All right, throttle up. Z. I'm a little nervous, but we're gonna give this a go. Yeah. Oh shoot! Stop. Okay, I'm gonna let this burn out. I never adjusted the launch TWR. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let these boosters burn out. I never did release the launch clamps, and we're going to recover this, which really won't cost us anything other than this fuel that I'm now burning. But I never adjusted the TWR. I had a feeling, I think this thing would have had a crazy TWR to start with, and I don't like that idea. So I'm just going to let this burn its way out, and we're going to recover. Okay, and then we'll try this again. Okay. Yeah. I didn't release the clamps. There we go. Recover. Because once I let that go, that's a static fire test. Exactly right. That was all part of the plan. It's all part of our safety protocols. All right, so, oh, I can still see the smoke here. That's kind of neat. Okay, go back in here. All right, yeah, I didn't like, yeah. It looks like it wouldn't have been completely awful. Now, these guys did not go on with the same, they're not in the same symmetry group, so I have to adjust them. Let's try 90 and 90. That gives us one, okay, 80 and 80. I want them to have the same TWR so they all end at the same time. .36. Okay, let's try 68 and 68. Well, that's way too low. Didn't I have 70 was like too high? Oh, there's a delay happening here. 75, 75. That's 36. 74. 74. 0.3, that's fine. Go with that. 1.34 launch thrust weight ratio. And all of these folks should be the same all the way around now. Yeah. Okay, we're trying this again. Who's our crew? Nothing's changed. Good, good, good. Save and launch. Nope, nobody blew up. They lived to launch another day. In fact, they lived to launch on the exact same day, only like a few minutes later. There is no saving in this game, Alex. There is no saving. I mean, I guess I could in a roundabout way save, but that sort of defeats the entire purpose of playing in a hardcore mode. Okay, now we're ready to go. Okay, and boom, and boom. And we're going up. We're going up. That's always a good sign. And I don't want to jinx anything by saying other things that look okay so far. We're pitching over. It is a hard knock over there. She's a little bit of a beast to control. I suppose that should not be in any way surprising. I'll lock that onto the prograde vector. Honestly, phew, I was expecting worse. Because it's so far reasonably stiff as well, which I wasn't quite expecting. That's okay. No complaints, obviously. Okay, we're getting close to SRB separation. Next stage. Oh, we have some explosions behind us, but what's behind us doesn't matter. A little steep, but that's okay. Let's reduce our thrust. Get this fella to fall over a little bit better. All right. So we can do a material study here in the upper part of the atmosphere. Yeah, 1.5 science, now that we got a scientist that can reset that kind of stuff. Oh, we are going into... We just clicked over to orbit mode there. Again, I'm just looking at this time to apoapsis, just sort of keeping it a constant. It's around 51, 52 seconds right now. Okay, getting ready to, coming up to 50 kilometers in altitude, so I'm going to stage the fairing. Again, that was B. There we go. Nice. Is ugly, but it's getting up there, and I'm really curious to see how much delta V we get when we're up there. Looks like a baby's pacifier. I see it. I see that. This should be like the Nuk Nuk I. That is its name, the Nuk Nuk I. All right. Apoapsis just crossed 70 kilometers. Just want to put a little more energy into that periapsis, get that periapsis up a bit higher. So that's why I'm reducing that throttle. So that final insertion is going to be really cheap. Oh, we are in space. We are in space. And that is almost 80 kilometers. Ooh, okay. So, got about 100 meters per second left in this stage, and then we're on to the next one. But I think that's okay. I think we're looking okay. 3,000. What did I wrote down here 2870 from low Kerbal orbit for the mission. So, in terms of meters per second. Shouldn't be much for the circularization. And I do have to be mindful of electricity, because I have no means of electrical generation once I lose these reliant engines. Oh, there's swivel engines on there, but whatever. A little closer. Okay. Gonna have the stage. That's nice. So that will deorbit. I like that. That worked out well. Okay, that's about 80 by 80. I have 2,876 meters per second left, which is pretty much exactly on the budget that I had. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight, but if I can be reasonably efficient, I'm hoping it'll be okay. Okay, let's get ourselves out to the moon. I'm noticing I still have that capsule around there. Set the moon as a target. I'm going to try and do this as efficiently as I can. It's going to be the key. It's around, I don't know, 15 kilometers or so. Oops, a little bit sway on the timing. Oh, we're pretty close. That feels pretty good. All right, so that's an 852 meter per second burn coming up in 23 minutes. Let's put it this way. Okay, again, I'm tempted to quick save, but I can't, so okay, I'm going to turn off SAS. I'm going to get in the habit of doing that each time. Punch that. Oh, I got to remember to collect. I have to do it after the burn. I got to collect that science that's in that. In that material study up at the front. I'm being asked about my RP1 series. Unfortunately, the RP1, I'm done. I'm no longer making studio videos. They were just far too time consuming, and I just had to make a life choice, as it were. So really, I'm just down to live streams. So if at some point I do RP1 via live, that's the only way I'm ever going to be playing RP1, doing RP1 videos again. Okay, and 3, and 2, and 1, and go. So sorry about that for those people that are fans of that series, but that's it just got to be too much. They took too long to make. Oh, go up and get... yeah, go up there and steal some more solar panels from that satellite. I don't have the DV for that. But that's a fun idea. You know what? I could have perhaps... I don't know if it's worth it. Potentially that thing might... That thing has a lot of Delta V, I think, on it. Potentially I could bring the satellite to it in low Kerbal orbit, but I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to do that. With each stage lost, this thing looks a little bit better, I think. All right. Yeah, that 30% on science, that slow rate of collecting science is, and I'm trying to avoid getting into doing major science grinding, getting in a plane, flying to different biomes, just to squeeze out little bits of science here and there. I'm trying to really, really avoid that. Because I find that stuff just, I worry it's just a little bit too boring to watch, but I don't know, maybe I might, you'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully this will be a good chunk of science for me. Okay, where's my... Here it comes. Ah, it's beautiful. I like that. Okay. SAS off again. Alright, so while I'm doing that, Bob is going to go out here. He has, yeah. And we're going to let go. He's going to collect us some science here. Collect, restore, and actually might as well run another one. You're in low orbit. Conduct another one while we're still in near space. I mean, 0.4. Not a lot, but collect that one as well. Restore. We'll do another one once we're over 250 and in high space. Looks like he has the EVA pack for even more science, but he does not. It's just a weird glitch. How... If I push open the cargo, yeah, it is a... The parachutes look like, on the scientists, they change into... the science experiment kit. It's very strange. Alright. Okay, and do another one of these. 2.5 science there. Get out there and get it, Bob. And actually, I think this will be our first time in the Moon's SOI with the materials, the Science Junior, so yeah. That should be some science just in itself. Get bored. Okay. Alright, we're on our way out here, so we're just going to say warp to here. So goodbye, Kerbal. And say hello to the moon. Here it is. Well, hello, was it V4 Vendetta, and welcome. I'm glad you can make it live, and I'm glad you're enjoying the series. All right, so we got about 17. I'm fine with that. Here, let's I don't want to see that debris there from when we got William a little while ago. Okay, adding a maneuver. Just do a capture into low orbit. Okay, happy with that. And 30-second burn. Yeah, that's good. Let's get down there. Oh, wait. We got science we can do. Science. Conduct a material study. 15 science. All right, Bob. I don't think I can... There's anything else. No. There's... Oh, well, I guess I could probably do a little bit of a mystery goo. Tucked in there. 1.4 science there. I don't think I have a temperature scan. Nope. And I do not believe I have a pressure scan. Nope. Okay, Bob, get yourself out there. Board. Okay. All right, Moon, here we come. Hello, Mydrin, and welcome. Okay. All right, snap into retrograde and getting ready for our lunar capture. And we'll do another sort of delta V assessment time, but I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay. I have to remember to do some more science. Got another one. Well, I can do it right now. Conduct that, but we got to go collect it. 22.5 science there. And from the mystery goo, 2.1, because we've already done one of those before. Yeah, an orbit of the moon is nothing new. Landing on the moon, though. Okay, 3 and 2 and 1 and go. Always like when I'm close to the body to be in free view. It just looks better. Oh, I overcooked it a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, SAS off. I don't think, again, crew reports, all that stuff. Yeah, I've done all this. So, Bob, get out there. And we will assess. It's like there's no EVA reports to do, just to show people, right? Like, done all that stuff. Collect data. Restore. Try and find that. There it is. Collect data. Restore that. Okay. All right, board. Okay, so we have 1,747 meters per second left. So 15 and 2, 17. I think it's doable. I think we're there. I think I need to do a decent landing, which of course is for me going to be the issue. I know one of the things, I should have thought of this as I was coming out here. The Twin Craters was one of the places to get that moonstone. The other one was the East Crater. I don't know what the East Crater is. But which way does the moon rotate? It rotates this way. So this is setting. This is rising. I think I'm going to try and come in here. Well, you know what? Let's just make it simple. Let's not be silly. You know what? We won't go for the moonstone this time around. We'll get that on a future one. I'm just going to land just anywhere that's semi-convenient. Like here. I was thinking of coming in here, but it all looks pretty rough. I don't want to do the plane change. I think I'm going to come around here. That's what I'm going to do. Moonstone are these silly little things that you can collect. Isn't it called Moonstone? I hope I got the name of that right. I do have a contract. Here it is. right? Yeah, bring Moonstone back with you. Obviously, Pokemon did not put a copyright on that term. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to do that. So about a quarter orbit from where I'm thinking of coming down. So let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. No engineer chip on this thing. I could have used some of the engineer information helps, but I'm not going to do that. So we're just doing a little bit of a retrograde. That looks pretty good. All right, so this is on that. We're going to turn this so that blue is up. We're going to put this on surface. All right, here we go. Oh, it comes with the DLC, the Moonstone. Of course it does. Of course it does. This should be on terrain. So I want to land in the daylight. We're just going to look for somewhere tolerable to come down. Everything always looks so intimidating. Yeah, I'll deploy the gear. I could deploy the gear right now, but why don't I deploy the gear? Certainly doesn't hurt. And my electricity is still good? Yeah. Where is our... I'm looking at this kind of high area up here. That's not looking too terrible. Maybe just before we get to this coming up crater. So let's maybe a little here. Get it off of the lock to retrograde, maybe a little this way. Let's punch it. So I'm thinking I want to see if I can avoid going into this crater. That's what I'm sort of doing. So I'm trying and thinking here-ish. I'm actually not confident about the amount of thrust I have right now, actually. I'm not used to, I don't have a lot of TWR. And we are going to stage. There we go. I think it's okay. Drift for a little bit. Drift for a little bit. I'm not super at the efficient landings. I'll be the first to admit that. Okay. Let's throttle up. Throttle up and get ourselves falling downwards. Nope, that was a little bit of a throttle every once in a while just to make sure I can slow myself down. I get nervous. And this is where I absolutely cannot look at the chat anymore. So I am just concentrating on this. Where's my shadow, by the way? Okay, come on, throttle. Doing okay. Just keep it pointing up. Where's my shadow? It's gotta be over there somewhere. Whoa, I gotta pay attention. 300 meters. Oh, there's my shadow. I see it. All right, stay up. Don't even think about it. And there we are. We're down. Still got 1,027. Oh, okay. I'm feeling. I think I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about that. That is exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's turn that off. Just turned off SAS again. I do have to conserve that. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Let's do science. So we got this. This should be a whole raft of science for us here. Observe that. 12 there. Gosh. That 30% science is never as much as you think. 9.6 there. We got a barometer on this side. Log that. 14.4. We have the crew report. 6. Okay, and Bob's getting out there. Take that data and store it again. And can I just do an EVA report just hanging out here? Sure. Okay, store that. And this is a little, well, actually, I think, yeah, he's got a nice little spot to stand right there. Take that. Restore. And there's nothing really to grab to, so I'm just going to have to do my best to kind of hover here. Take, oh, he got stuck there. Good. Collect that. Restore. Okay. And then we just got sort of stuck in there, but I was happy to take it. Okay, and then there's a barometer on the other side here somewhere. Oh, Bob fell. Okay, what I'm gonna do, grab that, pin it. Take data. Okay, good stuff. All right, let's put Bob down on service, and we're gonna have ourselves a bit of a flag planting ceremony. We'll get Delux out here. Yeah, flag time. It's flag time. Okay. Oh, the rookie. The rookie makes a bad tumble. All right, flag planting time. Let's actually face out so we have our rocket there in the background. Okay, and actually, where's Bob? Let's get, we got to pose for a photo here. We can put our lights on. Okay, plant the flag. And this is the Nuk Nuk one. Delux and Bob. Take that, Valentina. All right. And we shall do that, do that, do that. Look at that. There you go. Can we get them to salute one more time? And screenshot. All right. Guess what's going to be my thumbnail? Okay. Let's see. Put that back. And let's get her aboard. Now, I do have... I mean, I know I was talking about going to the Twin Craters and that kind of stuff, but I do have... It never required that, so if we can locate ourselves some moonstone, we don't need to do that. Now the moonstone, of course, I have Parallax, as you can see, installed, and that's what's putting all this rubble in here, and that's what's actually hiding the potential locations of moonstone. But the moonstone rock does look a little different. It's a little more gray, but I do feel like I'm trying to find a needle in a haystack. Might do a little bit of flying around with Bob. See if we can locate ourselves some. Okay, let's give her a go. So Bob. Now Bob, I want to keep careful look on his amount of propellant he's got. There's a cheat in the F12 menu. You know what? I do. Alex is right. There is a cheat. I might use it. Oh, it's Alt F12. And I got to remember where this is. I think it's under the breaking ground. And it is... Surface textures. Surface feature finder. There's one... Oh, there we go. And it's a cheat. But you can see all those like red big arrows pointing to exactly where something is. But honestly, I think I was going to drive myself crazy. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I'm cheating. You can call me a cheater. Cheating. I don't care. Cheater. I'm a cheater. Okay, so we just got to go to one of these. There's one here that's really not very far away, is there? I feel like I'm just kind of hovering over it. But, you know, they could be inside rocks. They could be anywhere, right? I feel like I'm right. No, it's more this way. What is that pointing at? What is that pointing at? It's in the middle of this enormous rubble field. Oh, wait. Wait. Is that it? It's the rock you can't walk through. It's that one. I mean, seriously. Was I going to find this? No way was I going to find this. Oh, wait. Do I have surface collision on? No, I don't. Okay, so that's a parallax. But this is an actual in-game rock, and there should be a get moonstone or something. Pick up moonstone. So he's going to get out his little pickaxe. I would never have found that. Not a chance. Okay, there we go. That's 36 science there. I don't care. That was worth it. Yeah, a bit of a cheat, but don't care. So we're going to do that. Turn that off. Close that again. Okay. Where is our ship? It's over there. Oh, R. You can turn on collisions with all of these boulders and things. That just terrifies me, honestly. The thought of trying to, like, for instance, land a really crappy lander like this, where, like, if you land on, happen to touch one of these rocks, you're just going to tip over. Do not like that idea. Come on, Bob, get in. Oh, that was terrible. That was terrible. Well, we're up. Bob, you're not supposed to be on top. There we go. Board. Okay. So all of our science is aboard. As far as contracts go, we did the plant the flag on the moon, the explore the moon. We still have to return to Kerbal. Science data from around the moon. We've collected all kinds of science data, so we just got to get back. We're not going to transmit because we have hardly any electricity. And bring Moonstone back. We do have the Moonstone aboard. So that is that. Touchdown confirmed on the moon for the Explore the Moon contract. We have landed on the surface of the moon. We have walked on the surface of the moon. We have planted a flag on the surface of the moon. And our trackers confirm the flag has been planted. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I got to get ourselves back into orbit. So I want to try and do this as efficiently as I can, and it really is efficient to kind of just pitch over hard and try and stay close to the surface, but obviously not hit anything. I want to go towards the east, so that's 90 degrees on the nav ball. I'm not 100% sure. I got me a feeling it's that way. That could be west, but we'll find out. So I'm just going to throttle up, and we're going to pitch over, and we're going to hope for the best. So here we go. Up, 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 up. Pitching way over. Just go. I'm going to go to this to get like, you know, 12, whatever, 14, 15. It's not crucial. I gotta be honest. Well, let's not jinx anything yet. Alright, there we go. Apoapsis is just over 14 kilometers. Time warp up there. I didn't even look what was that? Was I in Highlands? I think I was in Highlands. I didn't even look. Didn't care. Obviously, first moon landing. It's a new biome no matter where you land, so it really doesn't matter. Get a little closer. I throttled up a bit and noticed that pushed up my time to Apoapsis, which tells me I'm burning a little bit too early. Try this again. That's pushing it up too. So again, burning a little bit too early. I'll get closer again. I could do this with a maneuver node, but oh, this is, we're almost there. Okay. All right, and we got 408 meters per second left to get ourselves back to Kerbal. Easy, easy peasy. I got nothing to worry about. I am super duper happy. Have I collected near space science with the junior? Yeah, I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. I can find out really quick. You got me nervous now. I'm pretty sure I did it right after, but maybe I did miss it. Okay, so 22.5, the big test will be, can Bob get this inside? Because if it won't go inside, that's telling me that, but I thought I did. So we'll collect it, restore, and we'll try and restore it, or store it inside here. Cannot be stored because I have a duplicate aboard. So there you go. So I did collect it. But thanks for pointing that out. I think I did it right after, yeah, dump the experiment. I did it right after I got my orbital insertion. No, I did it right before that. That's what I did. Just before the burn. Now I'm remembering. And I know that kind of confuses new players. That's a common comment I get on YouTube, is they think they can't store any more data on the any more science data, and it's not. It's just that I have a duplicate aboard. But they go, I often get a comment with people saying, you know, my that's too much. My capsule's full. I can't store any more science. And I'm always like, no, yeah, you can. You're just trying to store something that you've already got. Again, 35 kilometers. Okay. And this is right around the time where I normally would be ending my stream, but oh my goodness, no. We're getting these folks home before this day is out. That's for sure. Excuse me for a moment. Oh. Little bit of a frog there in the throat. So, definitely a rather janky looking vehicle, but the Nuk Nuk I got the job done. Yeah, I'll have to think about what to do next week. Like, if I'll see how much science we have. That might make a big... And what nodes can be unlocked. Because that will make a... That'll make a big difference as to what to do next. I mean, an obvious... I was thinking, like, what to do for science. When the obvious answer is go to Minmus. Where I've collected 0 science. I could have easily have taken something like the Artemis III that I started this stream with and taken it to Minmus and done an orbit of Minmus and collected a ton of science just from orbit. So maybe that's what I'll do next week. I don't know. Even if I didn't have a contract for it. Okay. Enough. There. Off. Who knows? Maybe I can even get myself some solar panels. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. Guy, yeah, I think you're right. Val definitely deserves to go to Minmus now. I think Delux and Val are my only 2 pilots anyway, so it just makes sense that they're going to alternate from here on in. Okay. I want to be really cautious not... Oh, I guess I could do the warp to here, but I'm just paranoid. I like watching Kerbal come up. Rather than going to map view and say warp from here. That on free. Oh. We're there. And stage. And SAS off. This has no attitude control, but being just a single pod, it should orient itself the right way for re-entry, and we shouldn't have a problem. Oh, I got drag aerodynamic. The aerodynamic overlay was on. Is there a way to get Jeb and Bill back? You never put a docking port on. If you get there, they can EVA across. If that's what you're saying, or are they on like the surface? Like I'm not quite sure. Mr. Spherical is asking about. Sounds like a rescue mission. Rescue missions are a giant pain in the back end. So I'm very, very happy to see these folks making it back. Completely under their own steam, and of course they're very happy to do the same. I know I put an antenna on the lander and I never extended it, and the reason for that was I wasn't going to do any transmitting because I don't have electrical generation. I wanted to conserve the electricity. I put an antenna on it just to have one on there. But I never did use it. You're 100% right. I probably should have extended it. It's just as long as you have a pilot around, if you're not transmitting and you have a pilot aboard, you really don't need a communication link. This definitely looks like we're over land this time. The other option as well, if you don't want to use a docking port, if you have the claw unlocked, I'm looking at the chat discussion going, you can grab a vessel with the claw. I know that's later in the tech tree, but then once they're connected with the claw, you can transfer the Kerbals back and forth. It does work. I always consider that a rather brutal way to connect two vessels together, but it does work. Well, it does look pretty flat down there, I will say that. Always a concern with a roundy capsule. Another nice forest landing happening here. What idea what biome this is? Oh, that's the wrong button. This one. We are in grasslands. Lots of science collected here, so let's just recover. Awesome, awesome. Oh, we got ourselves a thunderstorm at the KSC. That's okay. That won't hurt. Oh, and lots of rain, but that is 172 science for a total of 239 science. That's bound to unlock us a few nodes. But you know, I think I'm going to have to leave that for next week. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing next week, but obviously a lot of new tech is going to be unlocked, new contracts to explore. So in the meantime, though, I want to thank everybody in the chat, thank everybody who's watching this at a later date, and of course, an extra special thank you to my Patreon patrons and YouTube members who help to support this channel directly. Have yourself a fantastic week, and we'll see you all next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.